books.
You're going to say something like,
I said 2 books, but if you want to come on in, I think people be glad to see you. You can come on in. We'll come on in early
I'll come on this evening.
after the first book.
Can I get behind you?
Yeah, you can. Yeah. Oh, can you for the surprise?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Should be going.
Okay.
Let's get this back a little bit. How do you think? Does that look good?
Yeah. Let's see. And I can.
You can sit on the bike.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting a little warm in this jacket. Did
Can
you?
you turn down?
Yeah.
All right. We're live here.
All right.
So it is 10:30.
All right. Ready?
How's it look to you? Good.
It's good. Got the microphone on.
Mm-hmm. So that little light means you're live,
All right.
and audio is working.
Ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, good morning. Good Friday morning. Good Friday. Good Friday morning. Welcome back to Story Time. One thing you might see, Ginger is still here, but we have moved to my house and are having the studio at home now. The store is still closed. The Young Free Bookstore is still closed. But on behalf of Reed's and all of our staff that's not working, but trying to provide this as a community service to you and as a maybe a 30-minute respite from the homeschooling that some of you parents are doing. I know at Forrester Academy in Birmingham, our daughter Kirk is using this as 30 minutes of respite, I think. So maybe some of y'all are too. But welcome back. You're not by yourself. Besides me being here and Ginger being here, there were 700 people were watching last week, and that's at that many screens. So I'm sure there were children there too. So probably over 1,000 people that are finding nothing better to do than joining me on Story Time. So we're glad to have you back. Glad to be back. Last time, people said they enjoyed seeing what books we were going to read. So I'm going to tell you today we're going to start off with Pete the Cat, 5 Little Bunnies. Love the Pete the Cat series. It's big time good. Then we've got The Good Egg, which is a new book, and I've got a little good egg, bad egg prop here to show with that. Then we're going to have the classic Peter Rabbit by Beatrice Potter, which is probably the most famous bunny book of all time. And then if we have time at the end, Hush Little Bunny, and then just a short version of the Easter story from the Bible. So those are the books that we've got on store for us today, and I hope we get to them. And I've invited a surprise guest. I don't know if that guest will come or not, but we'll see as the hour goes on, or the half hour goes on, whether or not she will. All right, let's start off with Pete the Cat. You can sing along with Pete too if you know the tune to this book. I don't. Pete the Cat, 5 Little Bunnies. Oh, and by the way, if you do want to comment, that's fun. I'm here by myself, so I'm not getting any feedback while I'm reading to you, but I love to come after the show and look at it. And there are also people that tune in after 10:30 on Friday morning that don't have a chance to come today, but we've noticed through the week that different families hop on. So if you have any comments or any Easter stories or anything funny or pleasant that you want to comment, we love reading those. Thank you for that. Pete the Cat, 5 Little Bunnies. One night, Pete was bunny sitting 5 little bunnies, when all of a sudden, there they are. Can you count them with me? 1, 2, 1, This is like Matt Laubon doing backwards on the weather, or Joel Young. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bunnies. 5 little bunnies hopping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. Pete called the doctor, and the doctor said, "No more bunnies hopping on the bed." Okay, no more. 4 little bunnies hopping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. All right, so how many bunnies do you see now? 1, 2, 3. There's the one that fell down. There's the other one that had been hurt before over on the sofa. So 4 little bunnies hopping on the bed. One fell off and bumped her head. That was a little girl bunny. Pete called the doctor, and the doctor said, "No more bunnies hopping on the bed." The doctor is very serious about no more bunnies hopping on the bed. They're going to get hurt. Do you think they will obey the doctor's plan? 3 little bunnies hopping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. See the 3 carrots down there. There goes another one falling off the bed. Have you ever jumped on the bed, used the mattress like a trampoline? My children used to do that. It's pretty much, it's a lot of fun. I've done it myself sometimes. Pete called the doctor, and the doctor said, what? No more bunnies hopping on the bed. So now we've got 3 bunnies on the sofa. We got this one still talking to the doctor on the phone. Pete called the doctor, and the doctor said, what do you think the doctor said? No more bunnies hopping on the bed. No more bunnies hopping on the bed. Look, they've got Band-Aids, and they've got, this one's hurt his eye. They're in pretty bad shape over there. 1 little bunny hopping on the bed. One fell off and bumped her head. Pete called the doctor, and the doctor said, what do you think the doctor said this time? Put those bunnies straight to bed. So instead of hopping off the bed, now the doctor said, put those bunnies straight to bed. So Pete and the 5 little bunnies hopped right into bed. So there they are. After they got hurt, they're hopping one more time back into bed since they had fallen off, hopping on the bed. It's a good little rhyme. A good book to start our day with by Kimberly and James Dean, Pete the Cat, and the 5 Little Bunnies. Now, the second book is The Good Egg. I don't know if our special guest is going to arrive or not. I'm worried that maybe with the virus and everything, that maybe the bunny's not going to be able to join us. But I hope that. Wait a minute. Oh, the Easter Bunny! Hi! Glad to see you. Will you join us? Will you join us for story time a little bit? Here, hop right down here. Oh, I'm so glad to see you. Hey, they can see you right through there. Oh, this is so good. Thank you for joining me. Did you have a good time hopping over here? I bet the wind blew you pretty hard. Is it chilly out there today? Oh, it is chilly. Oh, gosh. Well, I hope you're okay. You can see yourself right there in the screen. Ginger, have you seen the Easter Bunny? Hey, look, buddy, there's Ginger. You want to pet Ginger? Oh, that's nice. Okay. Well, will you sit here while I read about the good egg? Would you do that with me? Thank you. Here, you can maybe even hold. This is the good egg and the bad egg side of our little story time. All right, well, this is so nice to have the Easter Bunny here with me. Here, scoot on over here so you can be in the screen this way. Yeah, there we go. So glad to see you. Lovely. You don't say a word. What a what a lovely way to quarantine with someone. It's just a I don't know if any of you I don't know if any of you at home are lucky enough to quarantine with somebody who likes some quiet time, but yeah, it's really a sweet thing. All right, the good egg. Oh, hello. I was just rescuing this cat. Know why? Because I'm a good egg. A very good egg. Here's the good egg. Rescuing the cat. It's true, I do all kinds of good things, like I'll carry your groceries, I'll water your plants, I'll change your tires, I'll paint your house. If you need any help whatsoever, I'm your egg. Wow. Now wouldn't that be nice to have somebody to be there to help you? Buddy, wouldn't that be nice to have somebody that could help you with your groceries, your plants, and your tires? I bet they could even help you grow carrots. Would you like that? Is that what a great Easter Sunday meal would taste like to you? Some carrots? Oh, you can have mine if you want them. If I could have your dessert. I've always been a good egg. It's been this way from the start. Even in my earliest days, there were dozens of us living together under one recycled roof in the egg cart back in the store. There was Meg and Peg and Greg and Clegg and Shell and Shelly and Sheldon and Shelby and Egbert and Frank and other Frank. And there's the good egg in the egg carton. Yeah. The other 11 eggs weren't on their best behavior. They weren't exactly good. They ignored their bedtime. They ate only sugary cereal. They threw tantrums. Do you ever throw a tantrum? I bet you do sometimes. That's all right. You just can't throw a very long one. They cried for no reason. They broke their stuff on purpose. Look at that. It's kind of a bad egg, isn't it? Meanwhile, I tried to take charge. I tried to fix their bad behavior. I tried to keep the peace because I'm a good egg, a very good egg. Need one of those around our house. Nobody seemed to care, though. Every night I was exhausted. My head felt scrambled. Do any of your mothers and daddies out there in Storyland, do you feel exhausted at the end of the day with everybody home? I bet you do. You know, we need to be thankful for our mamas and daddies that are taking care of us all the time, 24/7 now. Then one fateful morning, I noticed some cracks in my shell. They were everywhere. Uh-oh, the good egg's got some cracks. And there's a sign on the back of it. Do you see what that sign says? Can you read that? Kick me. My doctor said it was from all the pressure I was putting on myself, the pressure of making sure everybody was as good as me. I was cracking up, literally. Something had to change. I had enough. Let's see, instead of, he's at the doctor's office there, and they're putting yolk in him instead of blood fluid. I told Meg and Peg and Greg and Clegg and Shell and Shelly and Sheldon and Shelby and Egbert and Frank and other Frank that I was leaving the egg carton. I can't be the only good egg in a bad carton, I said. Blah, 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 they replied. I left that night. Well, what's going to happen? It's one nice thing about these books, you can sort of wonder until you read the next page, and then you never know what's on the next page. And here's what happened. I wandered from town to town. The hours became days. The days became weeks. I lost track of time. I was alone. Out there on the road, under the stars, I really tried to focus on myself and what I needed. Good egg traveling over here, and then he's even growing a beard. I don't know, maybe some of the daddies out there have decided not to shave during this time of the virus. I did that for about a week, but I decided I would just go ahead and shave and make like a normal day. Plus, my beard just was looking whiter and made me feel older. And I feel young, even though I have a little gray hair, white hair. What do you think, Mr. Bunny? I took walks. I read books. I floated in the river. I wrote in my journal. That's a good thing to do. I'm keeping a journal of the coronavirus time that I will look back on one day and hope I can remember it more clearly. I'm looking for, like the good egg said, I found simple moments to be quiet. I breathed in, I breathed out. I even started painting. One thing I did yesterday was, girls, I stood outside and looked at a cardinal in the tree for about 5 minutes. It wasn't bothered that I was there, and I just stared at it. It was just beautiful and just a wonderful quiet time in our garden. You might enjoy some of that. For once, I found time for me. And you know what? That's what this coronavirus time is giving us in a way, although we're with other people too. But if you can separate sometimes and find some time just for me, it's nice. And, and I'm sure the people you live with would like some time by themselves too. I didn't realize how much those people wanted that, but now I've got a hint about it. Little by little, the cracks in my shell started to heal. My head no longer felt scrambled. I started to feel like myself again. There it is, feel myself again. So I made a big decision. I'm returning to my old carton and my friends. Besides, I'm kind of lonely out there. This time I know what I need to do. I'll try not to worry so much. I'll be good to my fellow eggs while also being good to myself. And that's a nice balance, isn't it? Be good to everybody else, but be good to yourself too. Here we go. Everybody missed me. I miss them too. Hello, Meg. Howdy, Peg. Hey, Greg. Greetings, Clegg. What's up, Shell? Aloha, Shelly. Hey-o, Sheldon. Hi, Shelby. Good day, Egbert. What's happening, Frank? Howdy do, other Frank. And there the good egg is back in the carton. They've got a welcome home sticker on the top of the carton. Sure, every once in a while, somebody's still a little bad, but it's not like before. Here's what I realize. The other eggs aren't perfect, and I don't have to be either. I'm okay with that. What do you think? I'm okay with that. And last page. Yep, the old carton is back together. We're a solid dozen again. It's good to be home. And that's where we all are. That's what we need to feel like. It's good to be home at our house too. And sometimes we get in fusses or arguments with each other or with people in our homes, but we just need to swallow it sometimes. You ever heard of just swallowing a complaint sometimes? I used to tell our children, if you just wait a minute and just swallow it, instead of saying, stop that, and once you swallowed it, you don't have to say it. They don't have to hear it. You might try swallowing that sometime. All right, before we read Peter Rabbit, one of the things we've done every week is to clap for all of the doctors and nurses and first responders and workers at Kroger and the grocery stores and everybody that's got to work in these essential businesses, and also for the people in the restaurants and the stores like Reed's that are closed and just that are heroes too by staying home and sheltering in place. So, Mr. Rabbit, would you help me clap for those? So clap at home. Here we go. Yay. All right. And one other thing before the last book I wanted to do, and that is because we can't go to Birmingham to see our children there or to Atlanta to see our children there, I want to wish our grandson, Mac Forrester, a happy 6th birthday this Wednesday. Mac will be 6 years old. This will be the first birthday that we haven't gotten to give him a real hug, and Mac is a great hugger. So we want to give him, and if you'll help me, I want to give Mac a big air hug. So here we go. Oh, Mac. We love you. And now, if you're lucky enough to be with people in your house, why don't you give each other a hug right now? Easter Bunny, would you give me a hug? Oh, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. I know you don't like public displays of affection very much. That's sweet. All right. So now we're ready for the last book, Peter Rabbit. Peter Rabbit by Beatrice Potter. Once upon a time, there were 4 little rabbits, and their names were Flopsy, and actually, I have a little Flopsy right here. Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail, and Peter. They lived with their mother in a sandbank underneath the root of a very big fir tree. Now, my dear, said old Ms. Rabbit one morning, you may go into the fields or down the lane, but don't go into Mr. McGregor's garden. Your father had an accident there. He was put in a pie by Mrs. McGregor. Now run along and don't get into mischief. I'm going out. So there they go. Then old Mrs. Rabbit took her basket and her umbrella and went through the wood to the baker's. She bought a loaf of brown bread and 5 currant buns. There she goes. Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail, who were good little bunnies, went down to the lane to gather blackberries. But Peter, who was very naughty, ran straight away to Mr. McGregor's garden and squeezed under the gate. There they are. First, he ate some lettuces and some French beans, and then he ate some radishes. And then, feeling rather sick, he went to look for some parsley. But round the end of a cucumber frame, whom should he meet but Mr. McGregor? Uh-oh. Mr. McGregor was on his hands and knees planting out young cabbages, but he jumped up and ran after Peter, waving a rake and calling out, "Stop, thief!" Peter was most dreadfully frightened. He rushed all over the garden, for he had forgotten the way back to the gate. He lost one of his shoes among the cabbages and the other shoe amongst the potatoes. Here he is, running away as fast as he can, but he's in trouble. After losing them, he ran on 4 legs and went faster, so that I think he might have got away altogether if he had not unfortunately run into a gooseberry net and got caught by the large buttons on his jacket. It was a blue jacket with brass buttons, quite new. Peter gave himself up for lost and shed big tears, but his sobs were overheard by some friendly sparrows who flew to him in great excitement and implored him to exert himself. They're the sparrows. Mr. McGregor came up with a sieve, which he intended to pop upon the top of Peter. But Peter wriggled out just in time, leaving his jacket behind him. So there's the sieve, but there's the jacket, Peter hopping away. Peter rushed into the tool shed and jumped into a can. It would have been a beautiful thing to hide in if it had not had so much water in it. Uh-oh. He jumped in this can, but it was full of water, almost full of water. Mr. McGregor was quite sure that Peter was somewhere in the tool shed, perhaps hidden underneath a flower pot. He began to turn them over carefully, looking under each one. You see, can you see where Peter's hidden? Mm-hmm. See his ears sticking out there? Uh-oh, might give him away. Presently, Peter sneezed. Ka-choo! Mr. McGregor was after him in no time and tried to put his foot upon Peter, who jumped out of a window, upsetting 3 plants. The window was too small for Mr. McGregor, and he was tired of running after Peter, so he went back to work. There's Peter just escaping the big foot of Mr. McGregor. Peter sat down to rest. He was out of breath and trembling with fright, and he had not the least idea which way to go. Also, he was very damp sitting in that can. After a time, he began to wander about, going lippity-lippity, but not very fast, and looking all around. You know how he feels? He found a door in a wall, but it was locked, and there was no room for a little fat rabbit to squeeze underneath. An old mouse was running in and out over the stone doorstep, carrying peas and beans to her family in the wood. Peter asked her the way to the gate, but she had such a large pea in her mouth that she could not answer. She only shook her head at him. Peter began to cry. Oh, he's crying. Then he tried to find his way across the garden, but he became more and more puzzled. Presently, he came to a pond where Mr. McGregor filled his water cans. A white cat was staring at some goldfish. She sat very, very still, but now and then the tip of her tail twitched as if it were alive. Peter thought it best to go away without speaking to her. He had just heard about cats from his cousin, little Benjamin Bunny. See, cats chase rabbits too, don't they? He went back towards the tool shed, but suddenly, quite close to him, he heard the noise of a hoe. Scratch, 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 scratch. Peter scudded underneath the bushes, but presently, as nothing happened, he came out and climbed upon a wheelbarrow and peeped over. The first thing he saw was Mr. McGregor hoeing onions. His back was turned toward Peter, and beyond him was the gate. Peter got down very quietly off the wheelbarrow and started running as fast as he could go along a straight walk behind some black currant berries. There he goes. Very animated, thank you. Mr. McGregor caught sight of him at the corner, but Peter did not care. He slipped underneath the gate and was safe at last in the wood outside the garden. Mr. McGregor hung up the little jacket and the shoes for a scarecrow to frighten the blackbirds. Peter never stopped running or looked behind him until he got home to the big fir tree. He was so tired that he flopped down upon the nice soft sand on the floor of the rabbit hole and shut his eyes. His mother was busy cooking. She wondered what he had done with his clothes. It was the second little jacket and pair of shoes that Peter had lost in a fortnight. There he is back home. I'm sorry to say that Peter was not very well during the evening. His mother put him to bed and made some chamomile tea, and she gave a dose of it to Peter. 1 tablespoonful to be taken at bedtime. But Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail had bread and milk and blackberries for supper. Bet they enjoyed that. And there they are having their dessert, and Peter is in bed, and that is the end. What a wonderful children's story, a real classic, Peter Rabbit. We can get that in our bookstore when we reopen. I don't know, we got about 2 or 3 minutes, 5 minutes left. All right, we'll try to read this little story. Hush Little Bunny is a great, sweet little story. And it's not too long. We'll try to get it in. This comes from the lullaby, Hush Little Baby, that parents have sung to their children for generations. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird. That's putting me to sleep, but anyway. So this book is based on that little lullaby. Maybe you can sing that to your parents, or they can sing it to you tonight. Hush Little Bunny by David Ezra Stein. Come, little bunny, don't be shy. It's time to tell the snow goodbye. Hush, little bunny, don't you cry. There's a little bunny with a little tear in her eye. See that saying? Papa's going to give you the big blue sky. And if that big blue sky clouds over, and she is running in the blue sky, Papa's going to give you a patch of clover. And when that patch of clover is done, see, the rabbit is eating the clover for its food. Do you like clover? I'll give you a meadow where you can run. And if a hawk comes gliding down, there's a little bunny in the meadow. There's a hawk up there. I'll show you a nest safe underground. And when that hiding place gets tight, you see her hiding in the hiding place, and then here comes another bunny, which makes it tight in there. I'll take you back into the light. Back into the day. It's a beautiful day today. It's chilly, but it's beautiful. And if the afternoon brings showers, we'll stay by a tree that's hung with flowers. And when those flowers blow away, we'll find some other bunnies and play. It's nice to have friends and brothers and sisters to play with. And if those bunnies don't play fair, I'll growl at them just like a bear. You better be sweet. You better be nice. Hush, little bunny, don't you cry. Papa's going to show you a firefly. Called fireflies, lightning bugs too, down south. And if that firefly takes wing, I'll take you where the blackbird sings. Beautiful paintings. And when the sun is sinking fast, we'll tunnel softly through the grass. And the bunny in the grass. Come, little bunny, come what may, I'll watch you grow from day to day. There's the mother watching. And when the spring has come and gone, I'll still gonna love you all year long. And mother's gonna say, I'm gonna always be with you. I'll be with you in person. I'll take care of you. I'll be with you. What a wonderful, secure feeling, isn't it, to know that somebody's going to be with you all the time. All right. Well, we're almost at the end of our 30 minutes. So the last thing I want to do is read from my old Bible that I've had for a long time, almost 50 years. And this is just a short version of the Easter story from the Bible. And I hope each of y'all has a wonderful Easter this Sunday. And be careful out there. It looks like it may be a stormy day, so take care and be careful and love each other. But this is the Easter story from Matthew chapter 28. Now, after the Sabbath, toward the dawn of the first day of the week, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary went to see the sepulchre. And behold, there was a great earthquake, for an angel of the Lord descended from heaven and came and rolled back the stone and sat upon it. His appearance was like lightning, and his raiment white as snow. And for fear of him, the guards trembled and became like dead men. But the angel said to the women, do not be afraid, for I know that you seek Jesus, who was crucified. He is not here, for he is risen. And he said, come, see the place where he lay. Then go quickly and tell his disciples that he is risen from the dead, and behold, he is going before you to Galilee. There you will see him. Lo, I have told you so. So they departed quickly from the tomb with fear and great joy, and ran to tell the disciples. And behold, Jesus met them and said, hail! And they came upon and looked, hold at his feet and worshipped him. And Jesus said to them, do not be afraid. Go and tell my brethren, go to Galilee, and there they will see me. And so Jesus meets the 11 disciples in Galilee, and this is how the verse ends. So, and Jesus came and said to them, all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all that I have commanded you. And lo, I am with you always to the close of the age. Well, that's a very reassuring and hopeful message for all of us for Easter. I hope you all have had a good 30 minutes with us. Take care of each other. Stay safe. And Easter Bunny, you've got some... hopefully you've got some places to go this weekend and be able to see whether it's inside or outside. You got some, oh, there, look, you've got some eggs in your basket and you're, thank you. Well, we love you all. Have a good week and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Good job.
All right.
Right.
That was fun. Had a lot of compliments. Had a lot of compliments on the Easter Bunny.
You were very animated.
I was trying to, you realize you can't do much without your hands. You know, all my little symbols I wanted to do, I thought I can't do them. But my face was, you can't breathe that, so I pulled the eye thing down for the grid so I could breathe.